Om Sai Ram. This is Sai Satcharitra chapter 36. This chapter covers the following: the wonderful stories of the two gentlemen from Goa and Mrs. Aurangabadkar. The two men came from Goa to receive Baba's darshan and prostrated themselves before him. Though both came together, Baba asked only one of them to give him 15 rupees as Dakshina, which was paid willingly. The other man voluntarily offered 35 rupees, and this sum was rejected by Baba, to everyone's astonishment. Shama, who was present, asked Baba, "What is this? Both came together, one's Dakshina you accept, the other, though voluntarily paid, you refuse. Why this distinction?" Baba replied, "Shama, you know nothing. I take nothing from anybody. The Masjidmayi, the presiding deity of the Masjid, calls for the debt, and the donor pays it and becomes free. Have I any home, property, or family to look after? I require nothing and am always free. Debt, enmity, and murder have to be atoned for. There is no escaping them." Baba then continued to tell a story in his characteristic way. At first he was poor and vowed to his God that he would give away his first month's salary if he got hired. He got a job which paid 15 rupees per month. Then he steadily got promotions. He later earned rupees 30, 60, 100, 200 and ultimately 700 per month. But amidst his prosperity, he completely forgot the vow. The force of his karma has driven him here, and thus I asked for that amount, 15 rupees from him as Dakshina. Another story: while wandering by the seaside, I came to a huge mansion and sat on its veranda. The owner was hospitable and fed me sumptuously. He gave me a neat and clean place near a cupboard to sleep, and I slept there. While I was sound asleep, the man removed a slab and broke the wall, entered my room, and stole all the money in my pocket. When I woke up, I found that 30,000 rupees had been stolen from my pocket. I was very distressed and sat weeping and moaning. The money was in currency notes, and I knew that the man had stolen it. I lost all interest in food and sat for a fortnight on the veranda, bemoaning my loss. After a fortnight, a passing fakir saw me crying and asked me why I was crying. I told him everything. He said, "If you act according to what I tell you, you will recover your money. Go to a fakir, I shall give you his whereabouts, surrender yourself to him. He will get your money back. In the meanwhile, give up your favorite food till you recover your money." I followed the fakir's advice and got my money back. Then I left the mansion and went to the seashore. I found a steamer that was ready to leave, but I could not get into it as it was crowded. Then a good-natured peon interceded for me, and I was luckily able to board it. That brought me to another shore, where I boarded a train and came to the Masjidmayi. Baba finished telling the story and asked Shama to take the guests and arrange for their meals. Then Shama took them home and served them dinner. At dinner, Shama said that Baba's story was rather mysterious, as he had never been to the sea, never had any money, never traveled, never lost any money or recovered it, and inquired whether they understood it and caught its significance. The guests were deeply moved and were shedding tears. In a choking voice, they said that Baba was omniscient, infinite, and the One, Parabrahma. They said that the stories he told were their stories. What he spoke had already taken place in their case. How Baba knew all this was truly divine. Then after the meal, while they were chewing betel leaves, the guests began to tell their stories. The first one said, "A hill station on the Ghats is my native place. I went to Goa to earn a living and took a vow to God Datta that if I got a job, I would offer him my first month's salary. By his grace, I got a job that paid 15 rupees and then steadily got promotions as described by Baba. I forgot all about my vow. Baba has just reminded me of it in this way and recovered 15 rupees from me. It is not Dakshina as one may think it to be, but repayment of an old debt and fulfillment of a long-forgotten vow." Baba never actually begged for any money or allowed his bhaktas to beg. He regarded money as a danger or bar to spiritual progress and did not allow his bhaktas to fall into its clutches. Bhagat Mahalsapati is an example of this. He was very poor and could hardly make both ends meet. Yet Baba never allowed him to make any money, nor gave him anything from the Dakshina collected. Once, a kind and liberal merchant named Hansraj gave a large amount of money to Mahalsapati in Baba's presence, but Baba would not allow him to accept it. Then the second guest began his tale. My cook had been working for me faithfully for 35 years. Unfortunately, he fell into bad ways, his mind changed, and he robbed me of my wealth. By removing a slab from the wall of my cupboard, he came in while we were all asleep and stole all my accumulated wealth, 30,000 rupees in currency notes. I do not know how Baba knew the exact amount. I sat crying day and night. My inquiries came to nothing, and I spent a fortnight in great anxiety. As I sat on the veranda, sad and dejected, a passing fakir saw my condition and inquired of its cause. I told him all about it. He told me that a great saint named Sai lives in Shirdi. Make a vow to him and give up any food that you like best, and tell him that I have given up eating that food till I receive your darshan. Then I took the vow and gave up eating rice and said, Baba, I will eat it after recovering my property and after receiving your darshan. 15 days after this, my cook, of his own accord, came to me, returned my money and apologized, saying, I went mad and acted thus. I now place my head at your feet. Please forgive me. Thus everything ended well. The fakir that met and helped me was not seen again. An intense desire to see Sai Baba arose. I thought that the fakir who came all the way to my house was no other than Sai Baba himself. Would he, who saw me and helped me get my lost money, ever covet 35 rupees? On the contrary, without expecting anything from us, he always tries his best to lead us on the path of spiritual progress. I was overjoyed when I recovered my stolen property, and thus, being infatuated, forgot all about my vow. Then when I was at Kolaba one night, I saw Sai Baba in my dreams. This reminded me of my promised visit to Shirdi. I went to Goa and from there wanted to leave for Shirdi by taking a steamer to Bombay. But when I came to the harbour, I found that the steamer was crowded and there was no space in it. The captain would not allow me to board, but on the intercession of a peon, who was a stranger to me, I was allowed to board the steamer which brought me to Bombay. From there, I got on a train and came here. I definitely think Baba is all-pervading and omniscient. Who are we and where is our home? Great indeed is our good fortune that Baba helped us get our money back and drew us here to him. You Shirdi folk must be infinitely superior and more fortunate than us, for Baba has played, laughed, talked and lived with you for so many years. I think that your store of merits must be infinite, for it attracted Baba to Shirdi. Sai is our Datta. He ordered the vow, gave me a seat in the steamer and brought me here, and thus gave proof of his omniscience and omnipotence. Mrs. Aurangabadkar. A lady from Sholapur, Mrs. Aurangabadkar, had no children in 27 years of married life. She had made a number of vows to gods and goddesses for a child, but was not successful. She then felt almost hopeless. As a last attempt in this matter, she came to Shirdi with her stepson and stayed there for 2 months and served Baba with devotion. Whenever she went to the masjid, she found it full and found Baba surrounded by devotees. She wanted to see Baba alone, fall at his feet, and pray that she may have a child. But she was unable to find a suitable opportunity to speak to Baba. Ultimately, she requested Shama to intercede with Baba when he was alone. Shama said to her that though Baba's darbar was open, he would try for her and that the Lord might bless her. He asked her to wait with a coconut and incense in the open courtyard when Baba was having his meals, and when he beckoned her, she should come up. One day after dinner, Shama was wiping Baba's wet hands with a towel when the latter pinched Shama's cheek. Shama, feigning anger, said, Deva, is it proper for you to pinch me like this? We don't want such a mischievous god who pinches us like this. Are we your dependents? Is this the fruit of our devotion? Baba replied, "O Shama, during the 72 generations that you were with me, I have never pinched you till now. And now you resent my touching you? Shama, we want a God that will always give us kisses and sweets to eat, and we do not want any respect from you. Let our faith unto your feet always be strong." Baba replied, "Yes, I have indeed come for that, and have been feeding and nursing you, and have lots of love and affection for you." Then Baba went and sat down. Shama beckoned the lady. She came up, bowed and presented the coconut and incense sticks. Baba shook the coconut, which was dry. The kernel within it rolled and made a noise. Baba said, "Shama, this is rolling. See what it says." Shama responded, "The woman prays that a child might similarly roll and grow in her womb. Please give her the coconut with your blessings." Baba, "Will the coconut give her a child? It's so foolish that people fancy such things." Shama retorted, "I know the power of your words and blessings. Your words will give her a string of children. You are wrangling and not giving real blessings." The parley went on for a while, Baba repeatedly ordering to break the coconut and Shama pleading for the gift of the unbroken fruit for the lady. Finally, Baba yielded and said, "She will have a child." "When?" asked Shama. "In 12 months," was the reply. The coconut was therefore broken into 2 parts. One was eaten by the 2, and the other was given to the lady. Then Shama turned to the lady and said, "Madam, you are witness to my words. If within 12 months you do not have a child, I will break a coconut against this Deva's head and drive him out of this masjid. If I fail in this, I will not call myself Madhav. You will soon realize what I say." A year later, she gave birth to a boy, and the son was brought to Baba in his 5th month. Both husband and wife prostrated themselves before Baba, and the grateful father, Mr. Aurangabadkar, paid a sum of 500 rupees, which was spent in constructing a shed for Baba's horse, Shamakarna. Bow to Shri Sai, peace be to all. And this brings us to the end of Sai Satcharitra, chapter 36.